Hello everyone, welcome back to IELTS Master. This is video number 38 and we are still on the path to discover the best way to write Test 1 in the IELTS. I believe up to this very moment you can do for yourself a very good piece of composition regarding Test 1. We have been discussing a lot of problems concerned with Test 1 like trends, proportions, and comparison, and maps and changes and locations, concession, everything. Today, we're going to take a look at the future. Sometimes the data is projected into the future and we are going to have to make predictions onto how the iPad sales is going to be in the next 50 years, how the iPhone sales is going to be in the next 100 years. Well, that is prediction. And of course, today we will focus only on prediction. First, I have three words, which are will, prediction, and predicted. I want you to use these three words to fill in the blanks. Go. Very simple, right? So for the first one, the number of solar power buildings will increase. Number two, it is predicted that the solar buildings will increase in the future. Alright? Number three, the prediction is that by solar energy will increase, or prediction increase, or predicted increase. Well, I think it's going to be will increase, right? The number is predicted to increase to 500. So you see, will, predicted, and prediction. These words are the most basic when you're trying to make prediction. You can say in the future it will, or it is predicted to increase. That means people predicted it will increase. The iPad sales are predicted to increase in the next 50 years. Or the prediction is that iPad sales are going to fall. Well, prediction, predicted, and will. Move on. We still have a lot of other words. We can say prediction. We can say assumption. We can say the forecast. We can say the anticipation. These are the three nouns that mean the same with prediction. Projected can be replaced by anticipated, forecast, and set. These are the adjectives, and these mean the same with to be predicted. Alright? So it is predicted that, it is projected that, it is anticipated that, it is forecast to rise, it is set to rise. Well, something like that. We have phrases, nouns, and adjectives. Nouns, adjectives, in order to describe to make the predictions. I have this bar chart. Take a look. Now, the bar chart shows the predicted number of buildings that will be powered by solar power and wind energy in the future. So you say there are 3 points of time: 2015, 2020, and 2025. Wind power is the blue column, and solar energy is the green column. You see, the predictions here project into the future. And your job is going to make prediction. I will show you now some sentences. Your job is to fill in the blank with the appropriate form of the word. So for example, with the first sentence, it is predicted that in 2025, solar energy will provide. Simple. So you use a phrase first. It's predicted that something will something, alright? For number two, in 2015, about 25 million buildings. What do you think? Okay, are expected to receive. Now, if you don't want to say it is predicted, it is expected that it will receive, you can say is expected to receive. You use the verb immediately after the adjective. Number 3, in 2025, much more energy to power buildings is come. Well, I think it's going to be welcome. Very simple. Number 4, in the future, solar energy, what do you think? Here, after forecast, we have the verb to be. So this is a verb, right? This is a to infinitive form of the verb. And so you cannot say will forecast. We have to use is forecast to be a much greater. It is expected to receive, it is expected to raise, it is projected to raise. Well, it is forecast to be. When we're making predictions, sometimes you may want to use the preposition by, meaning before. For example, by 2015, 500 buildings will have converted to solar power. So in this case, we are using the future perfect in order to talk about an action that has completed before another point of time in the future. So before 2015, they have converted already. In this case, we use will have converted. Or you may want to use a preposition in or by, and you can use like 500 million buildings will be using solar power. That means they will be using in 2015, they will be using, and maybe in the future they will continue to be using that. Okay. So by and in, and the future perfect and the future continuous. Now we are going to apply will have, and will be. I want you to use these words. Very simple. Will have, and will be, to fill in the blanks, to make predictions. Go. Okay, very easy, right? So for example, with the first one, we can say by 2020, it is expected that 30 million buildings, well, will be using wind power. Or number 2, by 2025, very few people, you can say they will be living in the countryside. We don't say will be lived, will be living. In 2010, more bicycles will have been sold. Passive voice, future perfect. By 2020, it is predicted that many animals, you can say will become extinct or will have become extinct. We don't say will be becoming extinct. It doesn't make sense. By the year 2015, it is anticipated that many natural habitats, let's say, will be destroyed or will have been destroyed. We don't say will be being destroyed. Well, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so as we're making predictions, we can use will, or with the present perfect, with the future perfect or the future continuous, or we can use many of the other verbs and adjectives in order to make your structure varied. So it is anticipated that the IELTS is going to be more and more challenging in the future. The IELTS is expected to make a lot of students study hard, and the fee of the IELTS is projected to be really higher in the next years to come, something like that. We can make predictions about the test itself. And this is enough for today's lesson. Review the video and do the exercises that follow. See you in the next one.